You are a child of the King. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Psalm 24:1. If you would just realize this truth, how differently you would live. So many of my children have the impression that the world belongs to Satan and that he is in full control of the fullness thereof. They have the false impression that the wealth of this world rightly belongs to the wicked. My child, this is the opposite of the truth. Everything that I created is mine. The gold, the silver, the precious gems, the oil, the natural gas, all is mine. The cattle on 1,000 hills all belong to me. Psalm 50:10. The forests, the orchards with their delicious fruits, the wheat fields of the prairies, all are mine. Even the buildings man builds, the bridges that spans the waters, the ships that plow the seas, and the planes that soar the heavens, all are mine. And you are mine. All humans and creatures that dwell upon the earth are mine. Because you are mine, you are heir to all. The hotels of the world are mine and yours, but you look for a cheap place to spend the night. The food is all mine and yours, but you eat junk food. All the clothing of every clothing store is mine and yours, but you wear things I am ashamed to see you wear. I cannot introduce you to people of position and honor because they would take one look at you and they wouldn't listen to what you have to say. The colleges and universities are mine, but you fear to send your children to the best schools. I own these schools. I built them for you and your children. Use them. I own the airwaves and the TV and radio equipment so that together we can shout it from the rooftops. I own the printing presses and the equipment that is needed to get my message to the world. It is time to open wide the gates for millions to come to salvation. Love them in, pray them in, call them in. Multitudes must come to me now. You need to use the measure of faith I have given you. If you plant that seed of faith, it will grow into a great tree. If you have clean hands and a pure heart, you shall receive my blessings. Nothing shall be kept from you. I love you. Believe it and walk in faith. Live what you are, a child of the King. See, live what you are, a child of the King. See. You are my promised seed. A seed shall serve him. It shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people that shall be born, that he hath done this. Psalm 22:30 and 31. You are that seed that shall serve me. It is written, 1,000 years before I came to earth to live and die for mankind, the prophet saw this new generation that would be grafted into Israel. A people that were yet to be born would love me and declare my righteousness to a generation that had not yet been born. Nothing happens by mistake. Everything is ordered and timed by me. Your life is a part of the fulfillment of that prophecy. We walk in unison together, serving those who are being born. For you were born to serve others, just like I, your Lord and Master, was born to serve. I came to glorify my Father and to do all his will. You have been born again into the kingdom for that same identical reason. You are the seed of my life, death, and resurrection. I had no natural seed, but by the travail of my soul, I gave birth to you, and you are mine. You are among those of this generation who are Abraham's seed, for I have grafted you in by the new birth. And now I call you to declare to your generation what I have done, that a generation may praise and worship me, and that they will rise up in faith to serve me. I made a covenant with you when you were in your mother's womb. There is not a time of your life when I have not watched over you and protected you and cared for you. I have loved you from the foundations of the world. Your whole life is planned by me. Sometimes because of the influence of the evil one, when you were young, you missed my plan and tried to run from my highest will, but I always brought you back to the right way again. From the moment of your birth, I have been there. I was your midwife who delivered you from your mother's womb. There is a special relationship between you and me. Again, as a suckling infant, as you nursed at your mother's breast, I instilled hope and faith and a feeling of security into your spirit. You will never lose that hope, faith, and feeling of safety because I put it in your spirit when you were an infant. Satan has tried to rob you of these attributes, but he cannot because I have sowed them into your soul, and they are there. Even while you were in the womb, you turned to me and put your trust and hope in me. We made a covenant agreement of unconditional love. I made it with you. I knew there would be times when you would be rejected, unwanted, and unloved. And so I loved you even more. I knew that some who had been the closest to you would be controlled by spirits of rejection toward you. So I watched over you even more closely. You had no one to turn to, so you turned to me. You have truly been cast upon me from your mother's womb, even until this day. And as I was then, so am I now, your faithful, eternal, loving, covenant-making, and covenant-keeping Father God. I will never fail you, nor forsake you. Read Psalm 22, 9 and 10.